mic?
What I was going to do was just going to check. There is a mic. I wouldn't say I've done this kind of thing before, but I've done a couple of speeches. So, can everyone hear me? Yeah. Is that fine? I won't shout, but I will be quite vocal. All right.
He's good at that.
To be fair, doing a speech on the mic it's quite tough, if I'm honest. So multitasking. Yeah. Okay. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls. You know what? Good afternoon. Fabulous to have you all here today. Obviously, some of you know me, some of you don't. So if you don't know me, I'm Duncan, Danielle's dad. I'd like to obviously welcome you all here today. It's great to have so many family, friends. What I will say, for me, two ways this speech is going to go. I think I'll do my best to stay level-headed, but I do get quite emotional. I think that's what weddings do for me. You know, it just depends how you are individually. But for me, it's quite emotional weddings. Like I said, it's great to have you here all today. One thing I am just going to quickly say, and it's a bit of a compliment really. Now again, for those of you who know me, football's always been one of my passions. And it's a bit of a compliment that Danny and Danielle can manage to have their wedding at the end of the football season. And in between the World Cup, which I'm really looking forward to. But then to top it all off, and it's probably geared to more the male half of the audience here. Sorry, ladies. The Frotch versus Groves fight tonight. So I'm sure as males we'll find a way out there to probably get out there. But obviously I wouldn't want to take the emphasis of why we're here today, and that is of course to celebrate the marriage of Danielle and Danny.
Don't stop already.
Okay. Firstly, I would just like to do a couple of thank yous, and I know that sort of takes the emphasis off the groom, but Chris, our singer today, if you put your hands together, absolutely fantastic. And if you'll just bear with me, Joe and I would like to welcome into our fold today two people, you know, we probably haven't got to know as well as what we'd like over the years, but with whom Danny obviously wouldn't be here today, and that's Baz and Deb. Two fabulous. Okay, as far as the bride, now I'm sure a few of you have been here today. Obviously I know my own father-in-law, Cocker, we do call it Cocker. Mal, Baz has obviously been there, done it. I will say, as father of the bride, what an absolute pleasure. Yeah, and I was quite touched really to walk down that aisle, and you don't know where to look. You're with your daughter, you know, and she looks absolutely beautiful today, and I love her so much. It really is. Any dads out there, I suggest you start saving now. Yeah, start saving now. But it's such a fabulous moment and a proud moment, and I know Joe and I are both very proud. As I stand here, I'm conscious that Danielle's probably a little bit in fear of trepidation, probably some of the things that I might say about her. And I will add before she met Danny. Now, to be fair, as a father, there are two ways it goes, isn't it? You can either have a daughter who dotes on your every word and does as she says, but you can either have a bit of a rebellious one. And Danielle was definitely the rebellious one, a shadow of a doubt. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with any of the stories about when she was younger, to the supermarket tantrums when she was a toddler, going through to the upper years, to the tantrums that she managed to then take into teenage years. And I will have to say, you know, the binge drinking, the quite fragrant experimentation with drugs, not to mention the knocks on the police in the middle of the night. You know, fortunately we weren't like that. Yeah. There was an ASBO, but fortunately it was just one. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, I'm only joking at the back. Yeah, it was just one ASBO. All right, seriously though, as a child, Danielle was absolutely fabulous, and like, you know, I don't want to dwell too much on the fact of being proud, but not only was she a great kid, she was also fabulous with our other two boys, Josh and Joe. And, you know, can we give her a round of applause, because she was such a great big sister. Now, as a parent, you know, there's many things that stick in your mind, from childbirth to crawling to walking to talking, all those kind of things. With Danielle, there are a couple of things that are fond to me, and that's just like teaching her to swim, ride a bike, all those kind of things. And I'm sure, you know, as parents we can all remember the little things. Well, you laugh at that, Len.
When you told me to ride a bike, you let me go and I fell off.
Right, I could stand here, you know, and you know, there's lots of stories I could say, tell you all about. But to be fair, there's one story. If you just bear with me, I'll tell you about it. It sticks in my head. Not only because it was to do with Danielle, and it was sort of a realisation of, and I can say it, probably a little bit of dizziness that she does have. But also because as a parent, it was a bit of a life lesson for me to learn that no matter what a dad says, when it comes to a mum and a daughter, your words, and sorry guys, your words don't count for anything. It doesn't, it really doesn't. Now it stems back to when Danielle was just turned 15, and she wanted a belly button pierced. Right now, I don't know, to be fair, nowadays it's about having your belly button pierced, it's nothing really. But for me, as a dad, I was quite adamant that she wasn't going to get it done. Obviously this led to a few discussions, tantrums, go to your room, all that kind of thing. But like I said, Danny was adamant she wanted it done for her 15th birthday. Now this is where probably Danielle's dizziness kicks in, to be fair. Her birthday came, the usual presents, the usual you know, cards, the morning, all that kind of stuff. And lo and behold, off Joe and Danny went, allegedly going shopping. Okay? Now, like I said, as far as I was concerned, you know, it's a typical mother-daughter thing to do on a birthday, all that kind of stuff. How I was wrong. Okay? Cut a long story short, off Danielle went, knowing she was going to get a belly button pierced. Now, this is probably where the story gets a little bit interesting. And will reflect to Danny's dizziness, to be fair. Now, I don't know, I've never been there and done it and taken someone to get a piercing and all that kind of stuff. But you have to fill out a sheet and go through the health and safety, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Now, Danielle filled in the sheet. Now, this is where, like I said, I'll just say it. The lady asked her if she was sure that she wanted to get her navel pierced. Okay, Danny's face just was confusion. She went. So the lady asked again, are you sure you want to get your navel pierced? Right, no, I've come here for my belly button, not my nose. So like I say, you know, it's just one of those things that sticks in my head. About, even though as a dad, you know, it's not going to happen. Mum and daughters always rule the roost.
Oh, wait.
Okay, moving on. If you just bear with me for a few minutes longer, I just want to say a few words about Danny. And of course, probably as a parent, offer some marital advice. What can I say, fella? Thank you.
Oh.
As much as I love Danielle, she is indeed high maintenance. She is. So thank you so much. Now, for those of you who don't know, Danny and Danielle, they've been together since school. Okay, so probably 15. 15. Yeah, 15. They were 15 when they got together. Now, as a parent, we all go on and we all have different expectations, but I just want to say that for me, that's something I massively respect, that you've been together from that age and you've been and grown and developed as a couple. You know, it's fabulous, it really is. So now, what can I say about Danny? I'm not going to lie to you. All I can say is, I think, you know, and I can understand why they're together, because they are very similar as individuals. But I met him as a 15-year-old, quite shy, very polite, I'll say. You know, every father-in-law's dream, yes sir, all that kind of stuff. Sir? But it just sticks with me that how lovely he was. He was a proper young man. He was. And what I will say is, Paz and Deb, you know, and I know all of our family, you know, think the world of him. He really is a credit to you. But you know, come on. Now, I can recall Joe and I probably realised that their relationship was something special when they did in fact leave school. And like I say, at 15, 16 years of age, you know, as a parent, you don't really, not being patronising, you don't really understand the full magnitude of that teenage love and all that kind of thing. But Danielle did in fact go on holiday to Turkey when they left. Now I don't know, obviously you guys remember it. Now I know some of you know how talented Danny was at motocross. You know, I only saw him once. And, you know, he was really.
Pedal a bike.
Now, cut a long story short, Danny was away in Turkey with a cousin, family, having a good time. Danny broke his leg, and I think it was a double fracture. It was really bad. I remember taking the call, learning what had happened, and Danielle obviously being thousands of miles away at the age of 15, and being in absolute hysterics, and all she wanted to do was come home and see him. And I remember when she did get home, the first thing we did was go straight to yours, didn't we? And so, like I say, that sticks in my head of from an early age how strong the connection was. It really was. Like I said, I don't really think I can offer you much marital advice because you've been together for nearly 10 years. And like I said, that's something that I respect, and I know Joe respects it as well. And as a parent, any parent, you have to understand it. But the two of you have just grown, and like I say, Danny, you know, you've finally taken that last turn in finally tying the knot. So good luck with that. Okay, I think you've probably heard enough of me now, to be fair. What I'll say is, now it's my distinct honour, privilege, to propose a toast. Danielle, Danny, your life together has just started, even though you've been together 9 years. It's going to take many turns along the way. You're going to have your good days, your bad days. However, if you have each other, you'll have all you need. Cling to each other. Communicate with each other. And that means you just listen.
That's good advice.
Make each other number one in each other's lives. I love you both very much. Joseph? Joseph would like to come with me. We had tears, 4 o'clock starts this morning about this, blessing, but he would really like to do it. If you'd be upstanding, please, ladies and gents. Shout it.
We give you, the bride and groom,